You mentioned the word issue, something that Chris hit on. You guys got an issue in your party right now. Chaos continues to rule House Republicans. Don't take it from us. That's not what we're necessarily saying. Here's Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
I've never seen this amount of damage done to just a few people for their own personalities, for their own fear of what's going through. And really, it's astonishing to me. And we are in a very bad position.
So after booting McCarthy from the speakership and then not electing his right hand, Congressman Steve Scalise, today the Congressman Jim Jordan failed again to garner enough support, and now his way forward really is sort of unsettled. Essentially, he's out. Republicans don't have a plan D. Here's just two examples to show you where things are right now. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, she posted this on X, showing how one of her colleagues, another Republican, blocked her on that platform. And then on the House floor earlier today, Congressman Greg Steube, here he was, here's the material, caught with the proposal to oust the temporary speaker, a member of his own party. Bob?
I mean, where do we go from here?
I don't know. That's why I turned to you.
Listen, I think they've got to think outside the box. Maybe
they're way outside the box.
Maybe a former member. Obviously, it's got to be a Republican-only solution. The McHenry working with Democrats thing didn't work. I think they've got to get probably an outsider who's not been in leadership and not someone as radioactive as Jim Jordan and who is well-liked. Do you think that person can get 217? I'm not so sure.
Is there a name?
Well, I'll tell you this, let the Democrats go on holiday, then we can slim down quorum and it won't be so hard to actually get anyone. No, there's no name. And this is a real problem for us, okay? You make a good point, because Democrats like Laura are going to run out there and basically say chaos, chaos, chaos. And if
well, it's not Democrats. I mean, I think any fair-minded person could sit there and watch this and say...
I don't think so yet, because we haven't stopped Israeli funding, because he's got the War Powers Act. He's got 30 days. But if it does come to this situation and government funding comes up, we're going to be in a real problem, because that's going to hurt us in 2024. And right now, the headwinds are favoring us in 2024.
Laura?
Hope springs eternal for Ford, but I think that what we see here, I'm not going to say chaos because I don't need to. The fact is that Republicans are showing that they can't govern, and right now they can't govern in a time of war. Electing a speaker is the equivalent of a cakewalk. The reason we haven't seen any funding, much less border security funding, if you're talking about Republican top-of-the-list priorities or Democratic top-of-the-list priorities, nothing is getting through this House because there's a lack of governance. There was a lack of governance under Kevin McCarthy, and now there's a lack of governance with the absence of a speaker or even a temporary speaker. So this writes itself. When you have an election, you are comparing alternatives, and this sets up the Democrats perfectly. If I was a Republican strategist, I would be clutching my pearls, grabbing my red and blue tie, and keeping myself up at night worried about the dysfunction in my own caucus that really is not rooted just in personalities, as Kevin McCarthy was saying. It's deeply rooted in a faction that just does not want to govern and wants to throw hand grenades at government, and another faction that actually wants to see things through. They lack a cohesive ideology, a cohesive set of priorities, and that's why you've seen nothing advance, including coalescing around a single person to lead them.
Chris?
We're going to have an election, a little more than 2 weeks, we're going to have an election just across the Potomac River in Virginia, where there happen to be a lot of federal workers who reside. We're going to get a real... I like polls. I'm into it. But elections really are what tell us the tale. So we'll be looking at Virginia. We'll see how Virginia votes and if there is a consequence for Republicans here. We have an evenly divided country. Maybe nothing matters, LOL, and you don't have to be good at your job or do anything.
Shoulder shrug emoji.
But the way the Republican Party is conducting itself these days, they hate each other more than they hate Democrats. They may even hate each other more than they hate us in the media, which would be saying something. Yeah, okay, I know.
That's not true.
That would be saying a lot.
Fighting has to stop on the Republican side, and we're not at war, by the way.
Well,
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.